number down from 119. 83 are still hospitalized, many with horrific burns. Meanwhile, planes carrying the 40 people killed in the fire have been repatriating the remains to their home countries.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply by February 11th and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy place every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions.
Recycle Minute with our own Rocky the Raccoon. He's in Murfreesboro today, teaching us all to recycle right, Tennessee style.
I love coming up with new ideas to share with my friends.
Here's Rocky.
You know how kids are always getting hurt, and yeah, us adults too, I know that. Yeah, okay, anyway, after you recycle the majority of bottles at the end of the month, you know, the plastic ones that you use to hold water with, or the bottles that sodas come in, set a few aside. Fill them up with water, and then put them in the freezer. That way, you always have a reusable ice pack on hand if you ever get hurt. Maybe you fall, bruise your leg up or something. Not to worry, because you got a fresh ice pack in the fridge just waiting for that injury. I'll be thinking of some more ideas to share with you next time. For RecycleRightTN.com, I'm Rocky the Raccoon.
And that's today's Recycled Minute with Rocky the Raccoon. Find the closest place to recycle by going to RecycleRightTN.com.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
Welcome into WGNS, the Roundtable. I'm Andy Herzer, founder and executive director. My most now repeated guests, I get to introduce Greg Pogue again. And Greg, you've added another hat, which I did not think was possible, but now it is.
Well, a lot of people say, with that big head, you got plenty of room for your plenty of hats. But Andy, thanks for having me. Brian, good to see you, and thanks for having me.
So, Lady Raider, now the voice of the Lady Raiders. Talk about that. You covered them yesterday. Your first call.
Well, Friday night at Kennesaw State, right.
Okay, so I'm watching it on TV, so I didn't get it.
Well, shame on you.
But talk about how it came about for you.
Well, I guess start at the top. Coach Rick, I call him Rick. I got to learn to call him Coach Rick. You know, in front of me. Coach, yeah, because he's been Rick, a friend for 35 years, and obviously that staff with Matt, Tom Hodges, and Kim Bruton, and Nina Davis. I've just watched as a fan, you know, because I was the past 14 years I've done Tennessee State football. I stepped away from basketball a couple years ago, but I did it for 12 years, and I just have, there's not a lot of things I'm a fan of. One of them is MTSU, certainly. My daughter went there, but the Lady Raiders particularly, I follow them, and as many times I could go to see them play, I did, and when I want to start if you let me, I want to say something from the very beginning. I should have said this from the very first thing out of my mouth. I get to work with follow a legend and work with one. Dick Palmer is, in my mind, MTSU, okay? Legend. It's such an honor for me to even be close to doing where he sat and for so many years, and I have so much respect for him, and so, but when he retired, and they hired Joe Fisher, and I had put my hat in the ring then. Chris Massaro and the group there at the time that had the deal to run their network, I approached them, and they hired Joe, and that's fine. I understood it. Well, Joe's not going to be able to complete the season. I've talked with Christopher Hill, with Van Wagner, obviously Chris, with Coach Rick, and just say I want to put my hat in the ring again. It fits my, because I have the Nashville Cats. I know we'll get to that. So it's an honor to be sitting in the same seat where Dick Palmer sat, okay? Secondly, I've respected what these guys do. You're always on the other side of either media, either writing or talking or whatever you're doing. You're sort of on the peripheral. I like being a part of a team. I've seen that. I'm a coach's son. I've seen that, what it means to be on a team, staff, players, coaches, and that was this thing right now allures me the most because of so much respect I have Coach Rick for Matt and how they go about their business. In the past 72 hours, I saw it firsthand.
The insight is what you're getting, is what most people don't get. Mm-hmm. And I know you can't share all that insight because it's just one of those rules. Mm-hmm. But your first two games, Colin, here's a team that, played just a hard schedule early for a young team. And now you start to see the fruits of that. What did you see over the last two games with this team? Well,
and before it became that I was going to step into this role, I'd been following. This is Rick Insel's youngest team, and I'm talking about not only the 17 years at MTSU at Shelbyville, and he's it's the second youngest team in the country. Okay, he starts 4 freshmen and a sophomore. I from where this team was a month ago to where it is today is pretty remarkable. You go on the road. I don't care how good the road opponent is in conference play. Andy.
Very little difference.
Yeah, is at Kennesaw State, and then yesterday afternoon at Jacksonville State. You start 2-0 on the road. You don't hand out trophies in January, but you lay the foundation. And that non-conference, I thought the win at Wichita State going into the break helped. They didn't play their best basketball, but won. And it's like a shooter, right? You see that shot go through, you win, and it's just remarkable to see how quickly this group, and it goes to how well they vet their recruits. They don't bring knuckleheads in, okay? They bring in very coachable, talented, basketball savvy players that will play hard and take coaching. And that's what I've seen. The progress in the past month, it's been remarkable, and yet they're only scratching the surface.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a young team that has struggled at times to score, but this weekend, to me, you go beat a team that's never been 12 points or closer to you ever, and you still beat them 13, and you're the youngest team in the conference. Then you go the next day and you back it up, and you just shoot lights out. And
they didn't score the first 5 minutes of the game. They got down 13-3, and I think at one time it was like 16-7 or something, and then but they went on an 8-0 run to close the first half. They came out on an 8-0 run to open the second half, and then it was just taking care of business the rest of the way. And with that, you saw I think I've seen a team grow up right in front of my very eyes, and a part of it that I get to sort of go behind the curtain and see, a lot of that. I really am very, very privileged and honored to be able to do this.
So you covered a team for 12 years. You got the inside sight there.
Not like this.
Not like that.
No.
So
I don't have any other way to say it. It was a job. Okay.
Yeah.
Doing TSU football 14 years, and I did basketball, and I would probably stepped away from football, but Eddie George was the head coach, and Brandon Fisher, the defensive coordinator, Jeff's son, and so I still was involved, and so I stayed with that, and just how the OVC has become so far flung, movement toward the Midwest, like a Jacksonville State used to be OVC, now Conference USA. This is something I'm not going to say I'd do it for free, but pretty darn close.
Well, I think it's the, I've gotten to know Matt Insel really well because
I understand Clark, his son, is in.
And his daughter.
And he is. Clark's like 5 years old going on 30.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's amazing to see that young man.
And it's, so I've gotten to know him and his family. And again, I can't remember, even when I was in it, anybody that was as driven on our staff. And it's obvious why we got fired, because no one was as driven as the Insels. And, I mean, they're driven to win, and they build a culture that way. So, again, first 2 games, what does this team have to do to continue, in your opinion?
Well, I think also, as we mentioned, learning how to win and that number is, but if first off, they may be young, but they got some players. Blair Bogus they can go ahead if she's, I know this is a superstitious. By the way, I've learned
she's one of the best players that as a freshman that I've seen in a long time.
By the way, this group's a superstitious bunch, so I got to make sure when I say anything that I'm facing the east and I'm standing on one leg or whatever. And I respect that. But Blair Bogus out of Wayne County High School, already 4 times been named the Conference USA Freshman of the Week. She's in 14 games. She's had 7 double-doubles, 2 for 2 in conference play. Friday at Kennesaw State, 25 and 10. And then
in foul trouble.
Yeah, early, and then but you've put her and then Macy Pfeiffer. Both are 6'1". They, if you look at how they list their position on their roster, they list them as guards.
Because they kind of are.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Either one of them gets a rebound, they're bringing it up, right? But she is Blair, and especially Blair is an amazing talent. That's, in my mind, you can go ahead and just knock on wood. She is easily the leading candidate for Freshman of the Year in the league.
Well, it's one of those things that just to see how the process with this team has come about, and again, they're not done. They still, I think, have untapped potential because they still haven't shot it great.
No. They made some shots yesterday, and
yes.
With that, the luxury of having a Bogus in that post, you got to pick your poison, right? If you're gonna, Kennesaw State never denied the basketball. Okay, played behind her. They ran at her a few times with the doubles and everything, but it was mainly that get on the wing, that 2-man game. You kick it down there. She's 1-on-1 done. That's fine. But you collapse on her, you kick it out. You kick it out to a Savannah Gray, a Kristen Verholtz. She's like 5'10". I don't want to mess with her. Okay, and she's from DeSoto, Kansas, just hard-nosed basketball IQ. Okay, there's nothing about that. And then Elena Contreras comes in.
Really started to play well.
Well, and you look at this. These people didn't even know each other 6 months ago, right? And so and she comes in from Missouri, Kansas City. She went over 1,000 points for her Division I career at Kennesaw State, mostly, obviously, at Missouri, Kansas City. Is it Kansas, Missouri? No, Missouri, Kansas City. And so you have that mix, and you got the two and they only played 7 players. This Kristen Verholtz, a freshman, true freshman, played 40 minutes. 20 and 20. No, played 80 minutes, excuse me. That's some Kentucky math for you. It played 40 Friday, 40 yesterday, played 80 minutes as a true freshman point guard.
Yeah, and again, she hasn't. She's starting to play better, but she's still not where she's going to get to.
No,
she had 6 assists, 0 turnovers. You know how many coaches in America would love that? I mean, I look at different stats. I look at turnovers. I look at rebounding.
I look at guard rebounding.
Yes.
Because if they're
Davis, 4.
Yeah, well, there was one game Verhulst had 8 rebounds. I mean, she's 5'10", I'm 6'8", right? And so it is you. And I asked Coach Rick, Matt, Hodge, the group about how they have to adjust their coaching, right? Because of where this team is. Are they doing, I don't know, more coaching? I don't know if they're coaching any harder, but they may be coaching differently.
Well, I think you got to with so many young players, and they've obviously, Coach Insel's in the Hall of Fame. I'm not.
He's no, wait a minute. He's in like 14 of them, okay? I'm not kidding. He's in 14.
It's crazy, and to see again. I communicate with Coach Matt Insel. Just the process, and it's it's no easy way because you're used to winning 25, 30 games a year, and you just played your hardest preseason that I can remember with a team that's this young, and they didn't bury themselves. A lot of young teams would have buried themselves. Your thoughts?
Well, yeah, and it's the net is what we're all supposed to look at, right? The NCAA net. And margin of victory, I think, weighs too much into it, right? Number 2, you've got teams that are top 20 net that don't have a quad 1 win. How can that be? How can that? If you don't have a quad 1 is 1 through 50.
Yep.
You don't have a quad 1 game, and you're top 20 net. What? And so, where they are now with that non-conference, they're going to have to play their best in March in Conference USA tournament.
Yeah. The thing about it is, what the net makes you do is go play the last quad. And you beat them 50, 60, and it helps you raise your quad up.
Well,
into
and the thing is with Coach Rick, his philosophy, he'll play anybody anywhere, right? You get Tennessee, and it's all about relationships. You get Tennessee to come to your building. I mean, the one thing I still do respect about women's basketball, they will play. They'll go on the road and play. Anybody. They.
It's about the women's game.
Well, it's about the game. Thank you. You took the words right out of my mouth. It's about building the game.
And the shift has been so different. And, I'm a men's basketball guy, have been all my life. But I've really enjoyed watching this staff work and develop kids. And, you're going to get to see it. And it's going to be fun for us to communicate back and forth on it.
Can I tell you a funny story?
Yes.
All right. So I'm excited, right? The bus, I get the itinerary on January 1st. Played, going down to Kennesaw State, easy drive down, and for the game Friday night, team leaves early. So the itinerary says the bus departs at 9:00. I get there at 8:40. I'm proud. I'm the last one on the bus, and they're waiting on me. So he didn't make me run steps for the first. I'm proud. I'm 20 minutes early. Bus leaves at 9. Right? I'm there at 8:40. I'm the last on the bus. So that's how I started it.
Yeah, but that's crazy because it tells you too the discipline that team has.
Oh yeah.
And is going to continue to have. And then you go, to me, the crowd that they took.
Oh, yeah.
To both games.
It's amazing. I think they took some, if you go on Twitter X, they took some photos of the players up in the stands with the fans at Kennesaw. Yeah. And then yesterday at Jacksonville State. Yeah.
Okay, they come home.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking for this team to do the next 2 games?
Well, El Paso, Thursday, 6:30, noon, New Mexico State. I know it's cliche, but just keep that building. And I think I don't think they're putting too much on them too soon, them being Coach Rick and the staff. But I just think watching the evolution of this team is probably going to be as much fun for these fans as I think in quite some time. And just watching the growth, and it's tangible from where they were 3 or 4 weeks ago. You can see it.
Well, again, you always want to defend the home, right? But again, a young team keeping that momentum going and forward. It's going to be interesting to watch what they do. And, again, congrats on it. We're going to shift gears. I want to ask the question now. Do we still call the Nashville Cats the Nashville Cats? Because you've moved, right?
Let me ask you something. Do you call the San Francisco 49ers the Santa Clara 49ers because they play 50 miles away from San Francisco?
That's probably the smartest thing that they do, the 49ers.
Right. They're talking about the Bears playing in Indiana.
Can you believe that?
Okay.
Is it all about stadiums, though?
Yeah, it is. And with the Nashville Cats, this will be year 3 of the new Cats iteration in the AF1 league. Last year was the first. Jeff is going to come on with us later, is the commissioner, also the majority owner of the Cats. And Municipal Auditorium was a fine fit in downtown Nashville, but Clarksville, F&M Bank Arena, for the people who've been up there, know 6,000 seats, all the bells and whistles, modern amenities, suites. It's also run by the Nashville Predators. Bridgestone Arena is run by the Nashville Predators. F&M Bank Arena in Clarksville is run by the Nashville Predators. So we get their marketing vehicle behind us. You know, they want us to be successful. It's a 12-game league, 12-game season rather. We would go 6-6 most teams. We have 7 home games. And we played up there the first year, 1 game. Did pretty good, 4,000. Last year we had all season to promote our last regular season game in Clarksville. We sold 5,200 seats. Sold, not papering the arena. And then 8 days later, we didn't know where we would be in the playoffs until after that last weekend. 8 days later, on a Sunday afternoon, we had our first playoff game in Clarksville. We sold 5,600 tickets in 5 days, okay? We just did in Clarksville a pick your seat event for season ticket holders. You could have gone online and hold season tickets for like $25 and then come and pick your seats. In 4 hours, we sold 980 season tickets, and with zero marketing dollars spent. And we haven't touched in the corporate. We haven't touched yet. The Fort Campbell, the Army base, we hadn't touched yet. And Murfreesboro, Clarksville, very similar, except Murfreesboro is sort of still in the footprint of the greater Nashville area.
Oh, yeah.
Clarksville is sort of more of a regional, because it's, 50 miles from Nashville, and that city, just like this, it's exploding. Montgomery County's got 300,000 people in it. That doesn't count the Army base.
So you look at the league itself. Are these smaller? I mean, Clarksville's a smaller market than Nashville.
Well, but see, the Nashville Cats, that's the brand,
right?
And on the league level, they're going out and selling the league on a corporate level, and we, with our corporate sponsorship, Vice Network will do our game of the week. They got 40 million subscribers nationwide. When we go, it's the league. It's Nashville Cats has 3 decades of branding. And so, I get that question a lot in Clarksville, because obviously they want it to be Clarksville. Yeah, of course.
Yes, I get it.
But we're the Nashville Cats playing in F&M Bank and Arena in Clarksville, and we're your home pro sports team.
Yeah, it's the only one in Clarksville.
Right.
So you look at all of this, and year 3, what do you want to see? What? Well,
we were runner-up.
You want to win it.
We want to win the championship. Our head coach, Darren Arbett, Hall of Famer, he's 5 wins away becoming the all-time arena football winningest coach. And, by the way, going back to Coach Rick, he is now 4 wins away from 500 wins. At the same school, he'll be one of only 5 coaches in college basketball history to win 500 games at one place.
It's an amazing feat.
Yep.
And we're going to take a break and be right back with Jeff Fisher.
Sign-ups are going on right now for First Shot's Winter Basketball League in Rutherford County. Coach Andy Herzer guides kids to sharpen basketball skills and build teamwork through exciting clinics and games. Since 2003, First Shot has empowered youth to grow in mind, spirit, and body. Don't miss out. Join the fun and develop lifelong skills. Visit firstshottn.org today and register for the Winter Basketball League. That's firstshottn.org.
Whether it's a cough, a fever, or something you can't quite name, MMC Now makes care easy. Walk right in, get seen quickly, and your visit connects directly to your MMC doctor. Care you trust, with providers you know, with digital check-in and multiple locations around town. MMC Now is here when you need us.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic.
Hello? Yeah, I'll be right there.
It takes all of us to power a community, both in plain sight and behind the scenes. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
This is Chip Walters, and I'm honored to be your 2024 MTAR Realtor of the Year. I'm with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, and like many of you, I've seen the real estate market shift and change. People often ask, Chip, what's really going on? Well, that's a great question, and I believe in answering with solid, factual data. So let's cut through some of the noise. I invite you to reach out. Let's have a conversation about your real estate goals and the current market trends in your neighborhood. You can find all my contact information at choosechip.net.
You don't have hot dogs or apple pie or no Chevrolet to drive, but we have some hickory smoked wings you're just dying to try. You'll try them, you'll like them, you'll give some to a friend. So on a dare, just stop on by and bring in a friend. Slick Pig Barbecue, 1920 East Main.
Good Neighbor Events is brought to you by Old National Bank, the law offices of John Day, and AmeriCare Pest Control.
This is a paid legal ad.
I'm attorney John Day. One of our clients was operating a farm tractor when he was rear-ended by a tractor trailer. In an instant, his life was changed forever. We helped him receive a settlement that has given him financial security for the rest of his life. Now, each case is different, and we can't promise this type of result for every case. But we can promise that when you hire the law offices of John Day, we'll work hard to help you. If you think we can help, call me, John Day.
Let's check those WGNS Good Neighbor events. Do you have a new computer? The Rutherford County Library System is offering free computer classes. Get with their Tech Center, TEC. That's the Technology Engagement Center, for information about their free computer classes. And remember to give the gift of life at the Red Cross. This Sunday, January the 11th, the Rutherford Arts Alliance Writers Mingle will be from 3 until 5 in the afternoon over at the Dapper Owl Coffee Pub. That's at 2412 East Main Street. Bring your notebook and write a while. This Sunday from 3 until 5 over at the Dapper Owl Coffee Pub. And our hats off to the Rutherford Arts Alliance for all that it does to bring the creatives together in our community. Don't throw away old glory. Bring your tattered American flag to WGNS. And let the girls from BSA Troop 2019 at Trinity United Methodist Church retire it with dignity. We also recycle Bibles. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford weather.
Lots of sunshine in store for this afternoon with high temperatures up to 64. Then turning mostly cloudy tonight, a low of 49. I'm meteorologist Michael Carroll from the WGNS Rutherford Weather Center. currently 37.
WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. Sharing Change has donated now over $12 million to local nonprofits. Find out how your spare change can make a big impact at sharingchange.org.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Welcome back in to the Roundtable, WGNS. I'm Andy Herzer, founder and executive director of First Shot. We are struggling to get a hold of Coach Fisher, but we are going to keep trying.
We're not struggling. We're efforting, right?
But talk about the 12 teams, the 12 different markets. I'm intrigued by the arena football.
Well, in the expansion we have other cities that in 2027 will come online, and I don't think I'm speaking out of turn. We're looking at Huntsville. They added Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky this past year, which will be a natural rivalry with us. The Kentucky Barrels, Albany, the Albany Firebirds, the defending champion. They've been in the indoor game for 3 decades. And with that, we're in Michigan, in Washington State, right outside of Seattle, Everett, Washington, Seattle, in Portland, in Oregon. We've added a team in Texas, so we're pretty far flung with our geographic footprint, and even market Oceanside, California, which is San Diego, is coming online this year, and that's sort of where we are with that. Instead of calling it, San Diego or Seattle, we call more of like Washington, like the Wolf Pack, and that way you don't just get the Seattle market, you get more of an inclusive. And even to us, if we ever went to a name, it might be the Tennessee Cats before it would be the Nashville Cats. But the Nashville Cats have 3 decades of strong branding association, and we can't turn our back on that. And that's all of our logos and all of our imaging and all of our IP. That's all Cats.
So from Coach Fisher's standpoint, being part owner of, or the majority owner of the Cats and a commissioner, how hard is that to wear both hats?
It's not easy, and eventually Jeff would like to step aside and from being the majority owner of the Nashville Cats, still being the face of it. Of course, Jeff's our number one asset, and being more involved at the league level, growing it not only in North America. We're looking at Mexico, we're looking at Canada, but also internationally as well. We've met with a group we hadn't met. It'd be nice to fly to Switzerland, but Zoom calls, you can do them like anywhere. And so there are groups in Europe who are looking to bring the indoor game to Europe, and because they just can't get enough football over there, American football. And so
that's crazy to me.
The growth is, exponential.
I mean, that's just crazy that Europe wants American football when they're so soccer driven. Their football. If you call it football over there, soccer over there.
But we're the girl they never got to date, right? And certainly soccer, we know, is never going to be replaced in Europe by anything. But there is a thirst for the NFL. How many games in the NFL now in regular season games are playing? 4 in England and Great Britain. They've been to Mexico City. They're in Germany, right? And they're there because of obvious reasons. And the NFL,
they're the brand.
Yeah, and you got to wonder if there one of these days will be a team in Great Britain, London. Yeah.
Wow. I always thought it would have been Mexico first, but who knows? Greg, getting back to the league, you said you had 7 home games. Let's worry about the Cats right now, and 5 on the road. What are you doing right now to get prepared for training camp?
Well, we have football operations. Darren Arbett and Clint Gum is our president of football operations. They handle the football side of it. Actually, this week in Florida, in Tampa, there is a combine. All the coaches and all their staffers and players come in from all over the country for a combine, and with that, and certainly training camp. The roster is signed. At the training camp, they will report in early April. Our first game is April 17th. And in Clarksville, home game at F&M Bank Arena on a Friday night. And what we're going to do with Clarksville also, we've got a really great relationship with the mayor. Montgomery County Mayor Wes Golden has been great. He's been golden. But downtown has a common area. We're going to have a festival for all 6 of our Saturday home games where they will have, live music, inflatables, food trucks, all the different stuff of a festival day, so that they've just sort of opened their arms and given us carte blanche. Come do what you want to do. But on the business side, certainly corporate sponsorship. The next 3 months, going to be in Clarksville quite a bit. First of the week, going to be doing basketball latter part of the week, but developing corporate sponsorships and all of our assets that we have available, from dasher boards to field signage to all the assets we have in a smorgasbord, if you will, of things that you could purchase from the highest level down to the lowest level, and developing just the community. And that's my job, is to go sell. Pretty simple. Sell tickets and sell corporate sponsorships, advertising, develop relationships, and just go beat the streets.
I get that. We were talking off air because an ad of First Shot ran, but we're going to talk about it. We have Marcus Allen coming in.
Congratulations.
On April 26th for the Sneaker Ball. And you just said him and Coach.
Yeah, and I know Jeff texted me last night and said good to go at 9:30. I don't know. He's got family in from Montana. And Montana State and Illinois State play tonight in the FCS championship game at Vanderbilt Stadium. And I know he's got people all in his house and taking care of everything out of his. He has a farm out in as well. But yeah.
So you look at this brand that you're developing, and what's success look like for the Cats besides winning? I mean, that's the easy.
Well, the bottom line in any business is to be profitable, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and so that's the goal. Is we have fixed cost. We have to house our players for April through July. That's our roster training camp. We have to house training camp. We bring in 35 players for training camp, and these are every one of them have agents. Every one of them have achieved on the collegiate level. All conference players from all different levels, and then some have been in the indoor game or in Europe, or those that are still chasing their dream. This isn't a beer league by any stretch of the imagination. Workman's comp is a fixed cost. Lodging is a fixed cost. Travel is a fixed cost. And so, and our staff. So, yeah, we have to offset those. Number one goal is to break even.
So you look at all that. I mean, that's every business. I'm in a business. It's called a nonprofit, but it's a business. And I've got to break even at least. How many years do you think it takes to get where you guys really want to be?
3 to 5, I think, is the the growth that we want, and now we've settled with a home, right?
Yep.
And the community over there has been amazing. I mean, they want, people are lined up saying, how can we we're order takers right now, which is sort of cool in the business. They're coming to us, and at all levels, corporate. So yeah, it's 3 to 5, but I think if we, in the next 3 months, we do what we think we're going to do, the Predators, the people with the Predators who run that building, Janine Lalick, she runs the building for the Predators. She thinks we're going to sell out every game. We sell out every game, we'll be close to making that nut.
You look at it, though, and I think you just have so many of the right pieces, Greg. The first is the name recognition, which you talk about brand all the time. But the next one is Coach Fisher. And it's just, he's really
well, and he's going to get an earful for not being on this show, too, by the way. He texted me last night and said, we're good. No, he's usually pretty good about this stuff.
You know what I've learned through First Shot? You know, I used to when we started this winter league. It's our 20th season, Greg.
And congratulations. And what you've done has been amazing, really.
And I would look at a parent bringing the child in 5 minutes late, and the look and the scowl of a coach, right? Mm-hmm. To a lady came up to me afterwards, said, Andy, they've got 3 kids. Life gets us sometimes, right? Mm-hmm. And so I've become way more forgiving, and you know,
you don't make them run the steps for being late.
No, you and I can talk for 2 hours probably. We only got another 10, 15 minutes left. So I look at this. It intrigues me though, the business side of it, Greg. And you've sold all your life. What made you, and what makes this so much easier for? Because I can see in your eyes how excited you are.
Well, obviously the word potential is scary, but yeah, you now have. It's not. In a lot of ways, it is a startup business. Okay, last year or two. Okay, in many ways.
Yes.
And you're only as strong as the weakest link in the league. So that is where Jeff is headed next. Once the Cats are in, we're solid. Okay, we're fine. Okay, but we got to make sure that everybody in the league is fine, and so I think that's where we're headed on a league level. We've got people that are coming to us wanting to be part of the growth of the league because they saw, arena football 25 years ago, national television, NBC, TNT, CMT, Eli Gold, who we were talking about that. Eli, who does our Cats TV games the last 2 years. Good buddy down at Jacksonville State, had dinner with Eli Saturday night. So there are people who see. I tell you what, it struck me. ESPN. We were at our championship game was in Albany, New York. Okay, and they had a reception before the game for the owners and league. Blah 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 before the game. Okay, and we're in this upstairs of this huge sports bar, and they had ESPN. Downstairs was full with people going to the game, and we're watching a dog jumping. This is ESPN. This isn't ESPN 4.
No.
This is ESPN. They had dog jumping into water and seeing how far they could jump into water. And the people were going crazy. There is a demand for product. That's why we have had 11-man football in this country and it's never hit, right? It's because the Foxes of the world, it's a CBS Sports Talk. They all need product, and we're going to give them product in football in a unique way, and so that's, I think, the allure of it on the national scope.
So, talk about the talent level of these guys. You kind of alluded to it.
We had 3 go to NFL training camps last year
from the Cats.
From the Cats alone. They're a step away from Canadian football. A lot of them play Canadian football. A lot of them in the UFL. A lot of them come from Europe. Our quarterback played in Japan, Tyler Kolka. He came out of Michigan, one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the country, went to Brigham Young, but went on his Mormon mission. When he came back, they had a coaching change, so he ended up playing at a smaller college. He was going to be the starting quarterback at Brigham Young, one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the country out of high school. So these are
high level.
They're very high level. They get paid well too. I hate to say it.
Well, all the agents, all the likeness.
Well, every one of our players has an agent. Okay, I'll just put it that way.
Well, we're going to take our final break and be right back with Greg Pogue.
Whether it's a cough, a fever, or something you can't quite name, MMC Now makes care easy. Walk right in, get seen quickly, and your visit connects directly to your MMC doctor. Care you trust, with providers you know, with digital check-in and multiple locations around town. MMC Now is here when you need us.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic.
What's the location of your emergency? I think my kid OD'd.
Hi, I'm Craig Harris. I'm County Commissioner of Rutherford County. One of the reasons I ran for office is because I wanted to bring awareness to the opioid epidemic that's impacting our county. To stop providing this epidemic with people as we educate. We have a lot to do, and we have to come together as a community because this problem's not going away.
Hey, Rutherford County sports fans, from auto, home, renters, business insurance, and more, trust your local State Farm agents. Celeste Middleton, Ron Reeves, Emerson Williams, Alex Williams, Dana Womack, and Andy Womack. This powerful team lives here, works here, and are your neighbors. They're ready to help you manage everyday risk, recover from the unexpected, and realize your dreams. Contact Celeste, Ron, Emerson, Alex, Dana, or Andy for all of your insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is...
When the weather turns bad, minutes, even seconds matter.
This is an early heads up for southern Rutherford County.
Rutherford Weather brings you live radar and expert meteorologist insight, giving you the early heads up when storms threaten.
A lot of areas are going to see some impacts from this storm.
From analysis to live camera views, we keep you informed before, during, and after the storm.
I think the vast majority of the hail with this now is going to be quarter to perhaps golf ball size.
Rutherford Weather. Stay ahead of the storm.
Do you love WGNS Radio? Well, now you can watch it too. WGNS Big G TV brings your favorite radio shows live and on demand. From breaking news and community talk to Rutherford County's top local sports. We've got it all right at your fingertips. Watch anytime, anywhere. WGNS Big G TV, where radio comes to life.
I've been helping people from Murfreesboro for over 30 years and spent a lot of time there over the years.
We love Murfreesboro. We have lots of friends down there. We've partnered with Middle Tennessee State.
And we found more and more people asking for our services, and at some point it just made sense to open up an office there for the convenience of the citizens of the community and the surrounding areas.
We wanted to actually physically be present there and not just going there a lot.
On FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Welcome back into WGNS, the Roundtable. I'm with Greg Pogue. Man, Greg, you've worn a lot of hats over the years, but tonight will be your first coach's show with Coach Rick Insel,
right?
And the girls. And have you been to one before?
Yeah, oh yeah. I've been over there.
It's
the Boulevard. It's 6 o'clock. Coach Rick Insel live, and then 7 to 8, Coach Nick McDevitt. And, hey, the Blue Raiders 3-0. Won a wild one yesterday.
They didn't want to win that one, Greg.
They did, and that's you win some. You know, I don't know. I hadn't. Obviously, I was doing the other things.
Well,
at the same
I watched
time.
both.
Yeah,
I had two devices on, watching the girls early as the guys finished. But you know, I watched that game, and I'm going, you know, a win is a win is a win.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, no one's going to care that it was a 1-point
Well, they're
win.
3-0 in conference play. Okay,
yeah.
That's all you can. That's all that matters, right? But yeah, 6 o'clock. Kristen Verhulst and the big center from Spain is going to join us. Nikki Dominguez. She is 6'10". She's Verhulst is 5'10".
I thought she played well yesterday.
Yeah, gave a couple good minutes.
Yeah, because of you know the foul trouble that
they got a couple. And Jenna McClendon, 6'4" center. You can see that word potential and working their position. Coach Tom Hodges working directly with the bigs. I think they're going to be. I think they'll be fine. So yeah, that's tonight. I'm excited about it. A little, you know, it's not if you don't get butterflies, then it really
then you shouldn't be doing it.
Right. Yeah. And
I mean, I'm anxious for my 20th season. I'm a little nervous, Greg. Right, for this to start this Saturday. It should be the same way for all of us. If you don't have those, you're probably not doing the right things in your life. So,
but the thing I'm most worried about is making sure I'm on time for everything.
Well, you better be 30 minutes early, and again, it's one of those things. Someone should have warned you on that. That you needed to be there.
I think they and then also I've got to speed up the last night and then because everyone's on the bus. You've got a post game show, right? Player interview, Coach Rick interview, stats, conference roundup, blah 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 blah, and they're already on the bus. It's not a good feeling when everybody's on the bus and they're waiting for you. So.
Yeah, but
at the home game, I can just take my time getting out of there.
Yeah, but the reality is they know that.
Yeah.
You're going to be the last guy on the bus every road game.
Don't tell me that. Well, I guess we're just going to be doing the post game remotely from the bus then. I'm not going to. I don't like being the last one on the bus.
Well,
but it is a great opportunity that I'm privileged, honored. I said it from the outset here. To work with Chip Walters, obviously another broadcast legend, and the people with Van Wagner, and then certainly with Dick Palmer, and just the aura that he has meant, what he's meant for MTSU athletics in general, the women's program in particular. I find this to be a privilege.
When I first got fired, they asked me to do the color with Dick Palmer for the men.
Yeah,
and. My favorite one was our road trip to Louisville, and Coach Kermit Davis gets tossed. Shouldn't have gotten tossed, but he did get tossed. The referee came over and looked at Dick and I, said, "Did I mess up?" And we both looked at him and said, "Yeah, he was not talking to you. He was talking to his players." And the guy was a young African-American ref, and he just go, "I blew it."
Yeah.
And but I got to do it with Dick and, all those things. And he is a great man. But, make this your own, Greg, right? Now you get to do
I don't know how to
do.
I don't know how to be anything but myself. And I work at that, right?
Well, but that's the beauty of it. We look back at legends. Eli Gold, he has a certain way he signs on, signs off. The guy, string music, right?
Joe Dean
Senior. All these guys, and I just think you have a great opportunity, and I just wish you the best.
Well,
man.
And the best part is that I feel like I'm part of the team, and that is something that I really cherish, and I'm very honored to have, and don't take it very lightly. I will work. I'll work. I'll show up prepared. I don't want Rick making me run the steps.
Well, I don't think you'll have to run steps because they don't want to cover your insurance. But, end of the day, talk about how you have to get prepared for tonight.
Yeah.
How do you have to get prepared? You're going to interview these two girls. What do you do?
Well, obviously, get their bios, trying to find out something personal about it, like Kristen Verholtz. Her mom played at Duke. Her dad and her two brothers all played college basketball. Her sister is now at Oklahoma playing. So, that's a good baseline. And then, Nikki's from Spain. I mean, good Lord, we can go forever with that. And how she got here growing up. She's 6'10".
She's every bit of 6'10".
She's 6'10". Well, she's actually 6'11", but they list her 6'10". So,
yeah, and again, you can just see her progress, and as she's coming. And yesterday, for me, watching that game,
got a little early foul trouble. Came in and got an offensive board, a putback, and really, gave him some solid minutes off the bench.
I almost thought threw Jacksonville State a little out of rhythm with her. Offensively, they just. They didn't know how to react to 6'11".
Yeah.
And again, we always said you can't teach size, Greg. So tonight, 6 to 7, then interviewing a Hall of Fame guy. I don't care. I'm not a guy that really, I'm not an autograph guy and all that. But around Coach Insel, I'm a little intimidated. How are you?
We've been friends. I think we respect each other professionally. I think why Rick and I have been friends for so long, he knows how hard I work. Okay? You know, people look at me, and I'm a knucklehead. I get it. But I work. I'm not afraid of work. I understand the diligence that goes into it. And I think that's sort of the foundation of our friendship. Rick doesn't intimidate me. I mean, my gosh. I mean,
but he's just one of those guys. I mean,
Coach Rick, I got to call him. You know,
you need to start.
I know, but I mean,
it's hard.
I've interviewed a lot of people. I've sat down and had dinner with Jim Brown. I interviewed and had a one-on-one and private dinner with Muhammad Ali. Okay, and now Coach Rick's one of the greatest college women's basketball coaches of all time.
You said something. 500 win at one school.
Four
away.
4 away, correct. So he would only be the fifth person, collegiate basketball history, women's side, to do it at the same school. And he's won over 1,200 games. Yeah. And he probably, you know what, he probably can't remember, but I guarantee he remember every loss.
Yeah, it's because he doesn't have very many. You know, when you start to look at that, you know, he doesn't have very many. But, you know, I look at it, the girls have got a great following, and they've done it. The same thing that you're doing with the Cats, you're working your tails off for them to get people butts in the seats. And, you know, Coach Insel and his staff does that as well. They've done a great job.
They're top 15 in attendance in the country every year.
It's just, again, amazing. I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Andy.
And again, we'll see you next Monday on the Roundtable. I'm Andy Herzer.
Subscribe to Big G TV, local content that matters to Rutherford County.